Well, good morning, everybody. We're going to have a talk today. Breaking news. I just went through a whole bunch of emails and other trying to dispel what I'm saying. This is monumental. It's got to go to Jody Wilson-Raybould. It has to go out. I need help here from First Nations persons. She's not on my friends list. Liberals generally are not. But this has to go to her. It has to go to her. It's extremely important. It's over what she thinks is a major win. What News, National Post, and others are trying to tell all Canadians, and especially First Nations. It's absolutely false. And Jody, this is for you. You're a former Crown prosecutor. A member, former of Justin Trudeau's Privy Council, still, I believe, a lifetime Privy Council member. You need to understand this and understand it really good. Bloc Québécois does not, and I repeat, does not have any Crown power currently other than the MPs elected to office. They hold no majority, and more importantly, the portion of the Constitution embedding Crown power for specific, and I repeat, specific positions in Canada constitutionally does not give any of that power to Bloc Québécois currently. They don't have a majority. They don't hold Quebec. Who does have the Crown power in Quebec is none other than Premier François Legault. He has currently the Little Crown. The Lieutenant Governor, which has all authority over the Superior Court of Quebec. Again, I'm going to say that. Jody, you were a former Crown prosecutor. The Lieutenant Governor is the Crown power in our Constitution, has the legal authority over the Superior Court of Quebec. Premier François Legault is in majority. He is the Premier of Quebec. He holds the Premier's power of Crown, absolute Crown. He's in charge, not Federal Bloc Québécois. Who holds the Crown federally, legally, according to the Constitution of Canada? Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He is legally and currently the Crown power of Canada. He is Her Majesty, as referred to in 1867 and currently 1982. He holds the Crown. He also has Governor General. He appointed the last one, and currently he holds Chief Justice Wagner, which again he appointed as the Governor General of Canada, who has full authority over the Supreme Court of Canada. That is reality, Jody Wilson-Raybould. That's reality. Bloc has no Crown currently in Canada whatsoever, besides, again, elected MPs in Quebec who don't hold the Crown. They're Crown sworn, but they don't hold the Crown. You are a lawyer who swore to that Crown. I suggest you go read your sworn oath to the country of Canada and what that means. You're a lawyer. You also took Privy Council. You couldn't accept things. God bless you, but it cost you your cabinet position. I believe you're still lifetime Privy Council, which is great that you're challenging things. However, you, and with the news saying you shot down Quebec's unilateral change of the Constitution on Bloc Québécois, and their motion means nothing, because Premier François Legault with Lieutenant Governor and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau with Governor General will make it so. And there is nothing anyone can do about it. They can make those amendments. The motion by Bloc is that Quebec writes it themselves. Well, they're not going to write it themselves. Premier Justin Trudeau and François Legault and the Lieutenant Governor and Governor General will ascend whatever they write together. That is one of five measures and means of constitutional amendment in Canada. I say this and I say it all, everybody. I have the greatest constitutional experts in the entire world, published without a doubt. Bloc's motion is a distraction from the real and clear crown power of the Prime Minister and Premier of Quebec, Francois Legault, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Governor General and Lieutenant Governor. Those are the key crown positions that can unilaterally amend the Constitution. And you can all make as many challenges as you want. As long as those two are in office, they will see it done through the crown power of the Constitution. And there is nothing, I repeat, nothing any opposition or anybody else is going to do, because you can't get ascension. Even if you pass or create other bills to negate it, you can't get them passed by, again, provincially Lieutenant Governor or federally Governor General. And further, you could challenge these things in court, but as long as they hold the Governor General and Lieutenant Governor, you can't win in Superior Court or in the Supreme Court of Canada, highest court in all of Canada. This is King's Court. Every lawyer in Canada swears this oath. Every civil servant swears this oath. Military, police, all lawyers, all judges. There are very few that escape it. They come from another country and didn't swear that oath. Very few lawyers in Canada, but most will be bound. And should they push, Jody Wilson-Raybould, if you push too hard, they can take away your bar. They have that power as well too. I didn't make Canada. I navigate Canada. I spent 2 years, and you can laugh, you can say, oh, you're not a lawyer. But you know what? The best, and I repeat, best lawyers in the world, best professors of law, whose books you've all had to read to get your bar, are with me and the truth. And you will find in publication these 5 ways of constitutional amendment in Canada. And you will find that these words I give you all today are truth. It is especially important for all the First Peoples of Canada. Get this to Jody. You don't have to understand it. You just have to send the message to her. And then she will choose. Is she a distraction? Is she just ignorant of how things actually work in all her years? I don't know. She's either part of the problem or ignorant of the real solution. Ignorant of really what faces you today. I just put out a post showing Bill Gates, clearly the largest private property owner in all of the United States of America. 242,000 acres. First Nations, who only have 8% of Canada officially, you can look that the Métis of Alberta are by far the largest private property owners in Canada. The Métis of Alberta have 1.25 million acres. 5,000 people given to an organization. That is unilateral power. That is the power of the Crown. Just like Francois Legault going for Quebec nation status. Clearly, this isn't a province as a nation. This is a people's registered like Métis Nation or First Nations. This was the utter problem, absolute, of bringing forward a non-binding agreement in Bill C that outlines exactly UNDRIP, administered by the Crown of Canada, not the World Agreement, the Crown Canada Agreement. This is what you face, Jody Wilson-Raybould. If you really love the First Peoples, if you really want to see Canada clearly represented, I suggest you drop what it is you're working on and you come forward with me. You don't have to like me, you don't have to believe in me, but believe ultimately I have the greatest legal minds in the entire world. What I propose to do in Canada is especially important for all First Peoples. Changing a system designed that the redder your blood, the deader you're going to be going forward in Canada. I am sorry. I am sorry to say that. I am ashamed of a country I live in, born into, I did not create, I had nothing to do with. My family clearly doesn't have that path in it. And you can look that all up, people. I'm only dealing with Canada as it really is and providing all of you the build to get out of it. It's really that easy. When people stop playing in the system, taking the system as it legally is, and applying international law as it really is to dismantle it. It takes the courage of someone who isn't greedy, seedy, corrupt to go forward and say, I will take the crown. I will crush and break it into 40 million pieces, equal pieces dispersed amongst a whole 40 million peoples, starting with the First Peoples of Canada. Those who've been treated the worst, those who got the least, will get the first and first choice settlement in much more land than they've ever or are ever going to have in this Canadian system. The longer we wait, the less the First Peoples are going to ever have, and the more genocide's going to be committed on them. Make no mistake, this crown system, inherited from a colonial structure, ruled illegal in this world since World War II's final. That is the promise of the UN. That is the promise of the Five Allies. People blame everybody for why the world is corrupt. Canada is leading in the corruption, running on an Axis power colonial system. A war of colonials was World War I and II. We are not the League of Nations anymore. We operate in that very system that is, again, illegal. Did you know that anyone of color was never, ever inside the League of Nations? If you weren't right, you weren't right. Now, this isn't to put out to every person who goes with this white privilege. White privilege in Canada belongs exclusively, I mean exclusively, to the crown-empowered politicians. That is it. That is colonialism. That is Canada. If you're white and you're not a politician or in the public sector, specifically in key positions, meaning you were appointed to or you were elected, you're not in that white privilege. Even when you look at the definition of a second-class citizen in our inherited colonial system, they have to buy their way out. You have to be tremendously wealthy to just buy your way out, and there's no guarantees on that. For a vast majority of white people, you are a third class, under the thumb, in a system that was outlawed almost 80 years ago. 80 years ago. This is the truth for much of the world, but not Canada. You all make the choice. Thank you. Share this video. First Nations, if you have any access to Jody Wilson-Raybould, this has to go to her. This is imperative because it's the truth. It's verifiable. It's factual. And I'm not getting taken off Facebook. I'm going to continue forward. I don't have to hide in other platforms. I don't have to hide anywhere. The truth is the truth, and it never gets taken down. Thank you. That's my video today. Share, share, share. Do it. Do it for the country that could be, Canada.